So we are going to do what? So we're going to finish what we started last Friday on section section 4. So it will be section 4.1, 4.4a and b. All right, that is, I gave you a quiz, right? So the last question was part of what we will be doing today. So some of you did not do that quiz board. What? You didn't get the questions? So you try doing them today, then you upload. I will still grade it. If you're not done. All right, so okay, so we can start again from section 4. Section 7.4. Section 7.4. So in section 7.1, we talked about the rational expression, which was P all over Q. Now in section 7.4, this is where we are now talking about the rational equation, where we have the equal sign here. And these ones are the P and Q are the polynomials. So these are the polynomials, where we also said if this is an expression, then Q should not be equals to what? 0. So if it is equals to 0, then it will become what? Undefined. It will become undefined. I also gave you a question on the undefined. Like, if I still remember, 1 over x raised to square minus 4. So what should make this expression undefined? So for this to be undefined, then that means this one should be equals to what? 0. Should be equals to 0. So what are the values in which one is loaded here? Then this expression will be undefined. So you equate this one to 0, which will be x squared minus 4, 4 equals to 0. So what is this? Difference of 2 squares. So what we get here is x minus 2, x plus 1 equals to 0. So then using the 0 product property, so x equals to 2 or x equals to what? Equals to 2. So when we take x here, x equals to 2 to here, then so if we have now 1 over x squared minus 4, so when we bring x equals to 2 to here, then we get 1 over what? 1 over 0, right? Because it will be 2 squared minus what? minus 4. So when we bring in minus 2 here, then it will be minus 2 squared. So it will be 1 over minus 2 squared minus what? Minus 4. And it will still give us 1 over 4 minus 1, which is equals to 1 over 0, which is what? Undefined. Which is undefined. So the values which you were supposed to write are these. So x equals to 2 or x equals to minus 2. Now let's come back to what you're supposed to do today. Now, I have some of the examples there. So first of all, let's look at least common multiple. So least common multiple. I don't know whether you still remember this. So what is the least common multiple? Or I remember we used to call it least common divisor. What is it?
It's a multiple that's from like 2 and 3 they can equal 6, or should I say like 3 times 2 again kind of thing. Those are the multiples of 6.
Okay. So if we have 6, let's say 6 and 12 there, okay? So how should we look for the least common multiple here? So what we used to do is start by dividing by 2, right? So what do you get? So you get 3 and what? And 6. Then you come to the another least one here is 2. We have 3 and then 3, and then 3 there, right? So what will be our least common multiple there? So it will be 3 times 2 times what? 2, which is what? Which is 12. So least common multiple is equals to 12. Now, what is our greatest common factor there? What is our greatest common factor? What is our greatest common factor? So how did we do our greatest common factor? We did it like this, 6, let's say 12 there, okay? So what is dividing this? It is 2, and then we also have 2 there, right? Okay. And then this, what remains is what? 3, and then we have, what was remaining here? 6. So we put 3 there. So what is remaining here? This one is, there is nothing remaining there. What is remaining here? 2, right? So what is our greatest common factor? So our greatest common factor is 2 and then 3. So 2 times what? Equals to what? Equals to 6. So our greatest common factor there is 6. Okay? So our least common factor or multiple is 3 times 2 times 2, which is 12. So when it comes to this section now, then we can say we call it least common denominator. So we look for a value which will, the value which, when we, if it is a fraction, let's say if it is 1 all over p plus 1 all over let's say we have 1 all over p plus 1 all over q equals to maybe 1 all over 2. Okay. So here to solve this, yeah. So to solve this one, then we look for least common denominator. So these are the denominators. The least common of them, which can be able to remove these fractions there. Okay, we should remove the fraction in the whole equation here. So the least one, which will remove all the fractions here, will be what? 2p cubed. So what you do is you multiply everywhere by p 2p cubed. What you do on one side, you do it on the other side. 2p cubed. So this is the same as, because this one is addition, then you distribute the factors there. So you open the brackets. So this is equals to 2p cubed times 1 over p plus 2p cubed times 1 over q equals to 1 over 2p cubed. Okay? Then now you can cancel the one which can be cancelled. So what you get here is 2q plus 2p plus p equals to p equals to p. So that's how we can remove the fractions. So you multiply by the least common denominator. Okay. All right. So let's look at it. I think we did we did some of them here. So we can repeat it again. So let's say we have x all over 5 plus 2x all over 10 equals to 8 all over 5. Now solve this one. So the question can be solved. Solve that. So here you look at the denominator of all the equation here, and then what is now the least common factor here among 5, 10, and 5. So what is our least common factor?
Factor.
Or multiple or denominator? 10, right? So what you do is you multiply everywhere by 10, and also multiply here by 10. So you open the brackets, so it will be 10 times x all over 5 plus 10 times 2x all over 10 equals to 8 all over 5 times 1. Times 10. Then you divide that, and that is 2. This and this is 1. Then this and this is 2. So what remains here is 2x plus 2x equals to what? Equals to 16. So 4x equals to 16. So x equals to 4. X equals to 4. Okay. Example number 2. So if we have minus 10 all over q minus 2 minus 7 all over q plus 4 equals to 1. So the question is solve that. So how will we solve it? Now we need to get the common factor. So if you don't know how to solve the common factor, yeah, if you don't know how to do it, what you do, you look at the denominators here. Okay, you look at them, then you multiply all of them. Like for this case, we have q minus 2 and then q plus 3. And then for this one is what? This one, right? So we can check this one as least common denominator. You can check all of it as least common denominator. Okay.
And then q plus 4.
What?
Instead of q plus 3, it's q plus 4.
Oh, sorry.
So I make sure.
Oh, I don't know why I wrote 3. So our ultimate goal here is to remove the what? The fractions there. So you can take all of that, this, and maybe the one which is on the other side, and then you multiply. So you take this as the least common divisor. Okay. Then after that, now you multiply both sides by q minus 2, q plus 4. So now it will be q minus 2, q plus 4 times what? Times the all of this 1 minus 10 all over q minus 2 minus 7 all over q plus 4 equals to 1 times what? Q minus 2, q plus 4. Okay? Okay. Now, then you open the brackets here. So when you open the brackets, because this one is subtraction, you multiply both of these by minus q minus 2, q plus 4. So when you open these brackets, when you multiply this and this, then q minus 2 will do what? Will cancel. So what will you remain with? Minus 10, and then q plus what? Plus 4. Again, when you multiply 7 over 4, this is q plus 4. So when you multiply this and q minus 2, q plus 4, what will remain? Q plus 4 will do what? Will cancel. So what remains is q minus 2. So here is minus 7. Q minus 2 there equals to all of these will just be like that. Okay. Now you simplify. So you open the brackets. So minus 10q minus 40 minus 7q plus 14 equals to, you can simplify this. So when you simplify this, what will you get? So this and this will be q squared. This and this is plus 4q. This and this is minus 2. This and this is minus 8. Okay? Are we together? Now, and then you simplify. So we have minus 10 there, minus 7 here. So minus 10 minus 7 is what? Minus 17. Minus 40 here plus 14. You get what? Minus what? Is it 26? 26, right? Equals to q square plus 4q minus. So minus 4q minus 2 is 2q. Minus what? Minus 8. Again, you simplify. So you can take this one to this side. You can also take this one to this side. So what do you get? Q square, which is this, and then plus 2q. We have this minus plus 17q we have this, we've taken there, and then we still have this one, minus 8 plus 26 equals to what? Equals to 0. So again, take this one to the other side, okay? So this remains q squared plus 2q, which is this. When you take minus 17 to the other side, you get plus 17. You still have 8 here. When you bring minus 26, it will be plus 26 equals to what? Equals to 0. Okay, so so we have q squared plus what? This and this will be what? So 19q, right? Minus what? So plus. So minus 8 plus 26 is what? 18. So we have plus 18 equals to 0. Equals to 0. Okay. Again, this is giving us a what? Quadratic equation. So this is giving us quadratic equation. So how should we get Q? We can use the AC method. So the product is 18 and the sum is 19. What are the two numbers? So we have 18 and 1. So to get 19, how will you do it? Okay, so now it will be q squared plus 18q plus q plus 18 equals what? Equals to 0. So we factor out q here. So q plus 18. And then we factor out 1. Q plus 18 equals to what? Equals to 0. So what do you have here? So we have q plus 1, q plus 18 equals to. So using the zero product property, then we have q plus 1 equals to 0 or q plus 18 equals to 0. So q equals to minus 1 or q equals to minus 18. That is how we solve that equation. That's how we solve the equation. Is that clear? So such a question is a combination of a lot of things there. So we have the zero product property, we have how to factorize, we have a lot of things there. So you should expect something like this in your exams. Okay? So make sure you learn all those stages of solving that equation. All right, we have another example here. So we have s all over 2s plus 6 minus 2 all over 5s plus 5 equals to 5s squared minus 3s minus 7 all over 10s squared plus 40s plus that. So this is the last one is 0. Now, here, how do we solve this? So we need to remove the what? The denominator. So we look for the least common divisor or least common denominator. Now, if you look at this and this, when you multiply the two of them, will we get this? So that's what we try. So you try multiplying this and this. So you can multiply 2s plus 6 minus 5s plus 5. Okay? So you multiply the two. You see whether you would get the last one. So when you multiply, then 2 and 5s, 2s times 5s is what? 10s squared, right? Right? And then 2 times 5 is plus 10s. Then we have this 2 times this is what? Plus what? 30s. 6 times 5 is what? Plus 30. So when you simplify this, you get 10s squared plus what? 40s plus what? Plus 30. So that means this is the what? The least common denominator. So this is the least common denominator. So you now multiply in both sides by 10s plus 40s plus 30. So we come here, you multiply 10s. So because we have known that this is the same as this one, okay? Okay, right? So what you do, you can come here and say 2s plus 6 times what? 5s plus 5. Multiply this by what? This one, huh? So s all over 2s plus 6 minus 2 all over 5s plus 5. Okay? Okay? Equals. So you multiply. So, okay. So when you multiply this, because what you do at the left, you do it at the right, okay? So when you multiply 2s plus 6 by this one, other side, what will happen? The denominator will do what? Will cancel, right? So what we remain with is equals to 5s squared minus 3s minus 7. Because when you multiply, then this one will cancel it out. Okay? So the two of them will cancel. Now, when we simplify again this, so when you multiply 2s plus 6, 5s plus 5, in the first one here, what will cancel? 2s plus what? Plus 6. So what you remain with is s, 5s plus 5. Okay? Now, the next one is when you multiply this, and here, what will you remain with? 2s plus what? Plus 6. Minus 2. 2s plus 6 equals to 5s squared minus 3s minus 7. Again, you open the brackets. So when you open these brackets, s times 5s, you get 5s squared. S times 5 is plus 5s minus 2 times this is minus 4s minus 12 equals to 5s squared minus 3s minus 7. Then now you simplify. Okay. We have 5s here, and then we also have 5 in the other side. So it will do what? It will be 0, right? So this and this will go. Okay. Then 5s minus 4s is what? S, right? Minus 12 equals to minus 3s minus 7. So you can bring s to this side, and then you take minus 12 to the other side. So you take minus 12 here, and then you bring minus. Oh, you're not seeing? So you take minus 12 to the other side, and then you bring minus 3s to this side. So it will be s plus 3s equals to minus 7 plus what? Plus 12. Okay, so we have here 4n equals to minus 7 plus 12 is what?
Positive 5.
So we have 5 here. So s equals to 5 over 5 all over. S equals to 5 over 5. So that's how we solve it. It's very long though. It can take you a lot of time. So you need to try to as fast as you can. So we have another example here. So we have n all over n plus 2 minus 3 equals to 8 all over n squared minus 4. So the question is, so okay, so what do you do over there? Now, if you look at the last one there, is a difference of 2 squares. So n squared minus 4 equals to n plus 2, n minus 2. So this will be our what? Least common denominator. So that will be our least common denominator. So you multiply by n plus 2, n minus 2. So we now come here, n plus 2, n minus 2 times what? N all over n plus 2 minus 3 equals to 8 all over n square minus 4, n plus 2, n minus 2. Okay. Now we open the brackets there. So when you multiply this and this, what will cancel? N plus 2, right? So what remains is n minus 2. Okay, minus 3. Now, what is this? That is n square minus what? Minus 4. So n square minus 4 there equals to this n square minus 4, and this one will do what? All of that will cancel. So what will remain is 8. Are we together there? Did I go so fast? Okay. So this n plus 2, n minus 2 is the same as n square minus what? Minus 4. So when you multiply by the first one here, so n plus 2 will cancel with n plus 2 here. So you remain with n minus 2. So this n minus 2 you multiply by n here. So when you come to the next one is -3. We don't have anything in the denominator. We only have 1. So when we multiply, so 3 times n plus 2 n minus 2. And we say n plus 2 n minus 2 is the same as n square minus 4, which is this, n square minus 4. And then equals to 8 all over. N square minus 4 is the same as n square plus 2 n minus 2. So those will cancel. So you get 8 there. Okay? So you now open the brackets. So when you open the brackets, you get n square minus 2n minus 3n square plus 12 equals to 8. Then now you collect the like terms. So we have n square and minus 3n. You get what? Minus 2n square minus 2 plus 12 minus 8 equals to 0. So you bring minus 8 to the other side. So finally, you get minus 2n square minus 2n plus what? 1 plus 4 equals to 0. So we can multiply everywhere by what? Minus, okay? So when you multiply by minus, then you get 2n square plus 2n minus 4 equals to 0. So it is similar. It is similar to that. Now, what is the greatest common factor there? So we are trying to make it simpler, okay? You can still leave it like that, but because we have 0 in the other side, then you can multiply here the whole of this by a negative. So what you do here, you also do it in the other side. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, like, what do we take out?
So you can leave it like that as long as you're comfortable with it. It has no effect. Okay? So we can, okay, let's just forget about it. So we can just leave it like that, the way, so you get 2n square minus 2n plus 4 equals to 0. It is still similar to this, okay? But I don't want to confuse you. So you can just leave it like, okay? Now, so again, what is our greatest common factor? Yeah. So negative what? 2, right? So you can remove negative 2 outside, right? Or you can just remove 2 outside. So you can say 2 here, and then n square, which is minus n plus 1, 4, sorry, plus 2, equals to what? Equals to 0. All right? So these 2 can cancel with, you can just remove the 2 because you can divide everywhere by 2. So 0 over 2 is what? Is 0. So you remain with minus n square minus n plus 2 equals to 3. Now, the product here, AC equals to minus 1, minus 2. And then B equals to minus 1. So what are the two numbers in which the product is 2 and the sum is minus 1?
Negative 2, positive 1.
So negative 2.
That should be negative.
Yep. So negative 2 and positive 1. So we have minus n square minus 2n plus n minus plus 2 equals to what? Equals to 0.
But when after you see negatives equal positive
because we have the negative here. So we have the negative here. So -2 plus 1 is what?
That is negative.
Is -1, right?
I was following the positive or the negative.
Yeah. So so you get this negative. So and this one still remains like that, +2 equals to 0. So now here, what do? You factor out what? What is common here? Minus what? -n, right? So here will be what? N plus what? +2. Plus, what is common here? 1, right? N plus 2 equals to 0. Okay? Okay? So what is common between the two of them? So we have this -n plus 1, and then we have n plus 2 equals to what? Equals to 0. All right? So we have now the 0 is the 0 product property. So you get -n plus 1 equals to 0, or n plus 2 equals to 0. So finally, this one will be n equals to minus what? -1, or n equals to minus. That's clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? All right, so let's try the last one here. So you have 1 plus 4 all over n, and then equals to 21 all over n squared. So our least common divisor here is what? N what? N squared, right?
Just be n.
Hmm?
Would it just be n?
So n, this one is more than n because it's n squared. So n squared is n times n times. Yeah. So we multiply everywhere by n squared. We also multiply this one by n squared. So when you open the brackets, then it will be n squared plus. So this will cancel with 1 there, 1n there. So it will be 4n. Okay? Equals to what? This will cancel with that, equals to 21. Equals to 21. So you bring this 21 to this side. So n squared plus 4n minus 21 equals to 0. Equals to 0. So we have AC as minus 21. B equals to 4. We have the two numbers in which the product is minus 21. The sum is 4. What are the two numbers? So we have 7 and -3. So we have now n squared plus 7n minus 3n minus 21 equals to 0. So we have n plus 7 minus 3 n plus 7 equals to 0. So finally, we have n minus 3 n plus 7 equals to. So we have n equals to 3, or n equals to minus 7. So n equals to 3, or n equals to minus 7. Any question? Assist me with your pen. Yeah. Very good. Avalos. Gregory. Gregory. Ashley. Victoria. Yeah. Rachel. Bailey. Laura. Adam. Tavei. Andrew. Destiny. Cole. Abby. Rachel Malone. Jillian. Remington. Minon. Rayleigh. Eric. Kayla. Relay. Rock. Thompson. Samuel. William. All right. See you guys. Make sure you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. You too.